Hi, welcome, welcome. I know it's a little crazy. I just did a video a while ago at 3:30 and now I'm doing another one. But I wanted to get caught up on my Ginkgo Class-to-go series. So I just thought I would jump on and go ahead and do the instructions for another of the cards, which is really pretty simple. But I'm sorry I didn't give you much notice. So you're probably turning in on the replay and not on the live, but I hope to catch somebody live, hopefully. My name is Kelly Pitts, and I'm an independent demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas for Stampin' Up. So I am loving my job. I get to do Stampin' Up full time. I used to do it part-time and in addition to another business. So this has really been a lot of fun this year to get to work on it full time. So I'm trying to learn all the technical stuff and manage local card making experiences for folks. We've had some Crafty Gals night out and lots of things going on. We have lots coming up this month, and we're also doing a booth at the Arts Festival in mid-April on the 14th, 15th, 16th, that weekend. I can forget which one's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we've got a lot coming up, and I've got card making classes. I have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced card making experience. Either whichever level you are, I have something for you and would love for you to join if you're going to be in the Lubbock area those days. Just shoot me an email, or you can subscribe to my blog. That's a good way to get some news. I'm not really good at newsletters yet on letting everybody know, but I will. I do have a Stampin' Up calendar on my blog. If you go to createwithkelly.com, you can click on event calendar and everything should be there. So would love for you to join. I am doing like I said, a fairly simple card today. It is really gorgeous though. This distressed gold paper, that's the specialty paper in the mini catalog, is just beautiful. And it really sets off nicely against the Starry Sky or the basic black, either one. And I can't wait to get Pretty Peacock. I think this card would be gorgeous with the Pretty Peacock paper that we're going to get back. We're excited about getting that color as a return during the In Color and Color Refresh from Stampin' Up that's coming up in next, let's see, not next month. We'll know March 29th what colors are staying and going. And you, the customer, will find out in April. So, because the new catalog starts, I think, May 2nd. For customers. So that's one of the perks of being a demonstrator, is that we get to see everything a month early so that we can order stuff in and prep and get items ready to show you the new stuff. So that's exciting. But today I'm going to do, like I said, kind of a simple one. And I've done parts of it already, but I just wanted to show you how gorgeous this distressed gold paper is. So let me know who you are when you tune in. If you would, give me your name and let me know where you're from. That's always fun to see. I had somebody earlier, my friend Kay, is where it was snowing, and it's been really pretty nice here. We've had a little wind, but it's about 60 or so. But if you have not given StreamYard your permission, or Facebook, if that's what it will take to show up, if you just go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that gives them permission to show me who you are. Otherwise, you just show up as a Facebook user. So would love to be able to see your comments and know who you are. And Rebecca's here. Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca, for tuning in. You missed the earlier one that I did, but you're catching this one. So I'm glad you're here. Yay, I have someone to talk to. That helps. But I am happy for all the people who watch on the replay also. So glad you're here. Okay, we're going to get after it here. I have already done the quatrefoil. The series is from the Ginkgo branch bundle, which has a stamp set and dies. Here are the Ginkgo branch dies, and these are mounted on, this is a magnetic sheet. It doesn't come that way. And then I'm also going to be using, well, that bundles, I'm not going to be stamping with this for this card, but the Ginkgo branch set is what I have been using on my other cards in this series. And then also today, I am adding in something new. I haven't even done it yet. I just had the idea just right before the video, so I grabbed it. But this one is called Fabulous Frames Dies, and it is a wonderful set of dies, and it's number 159163. If you don't have this, this is awesome. I'm going to show you some corners that we're going to use on the inside. Also, I'm using the Quatrefoil embossing folder, and I thought I brought it in here, and I'm not seeing it at the moment, but I have already used it. Let me see. I don't see it at this very moment, but you can tell how gorgeous it is. Look at the detail on that. Isn't that beautiful? And the emboss, that's the emboss side. And then flip it over and look at the deboss side, which is just as gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? Lovely, lovely. Okay, we're going to just do some simple stamping. I've already cut out the ginkgo branch die out of the distressed gold. I'm going to let you see how gorgeous this is. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Look at all the texture and detail in that paper. That's already there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh good, Rebecca. You don't have to use this embossing folder. You could use a different one. I just thought it really lent itself well to the elegance of the gold against the dark. But I bet you have an embossing folder that would work. Or since you're right here in town, you can come over and borrow mine, Rebecca, to make this card if you want. Okay, let's see. Since I've already got that cut out, we've got our little bone folder here, where I had it at my last card an hour or two ago. Here it is. And I always, after I use an embossing folder for sure, I make sure the ends are together like that. Just get your corners together really good. And this is Starry Sky cardstock at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And that is going to be our card front. I usually flip it over and really get after that side with the bone folder too, so that it lays flat. You get a good crisp fold that lays flat. Okay. And we're going to, I should have cut out of this and didn't. I'm going to show you what I usually do. We're going to grab something here. I'm just going to grab a big punch from my stash over here on the wall. Y'all saw? I'm just going to get a punch out of the middle. So at least I don't waste all of that paper. I hate that. And this also makes your cards lighter weight for mailing. So we're going to mount this, and I'm actually going to do a little trick for you. Not a trick, but a technique, I guess. We're just going to go around the outside of this white. You can see on this black one. Can you see this sparkly right here? Hard to see on camera. All I did was run a wink of Stella around the edge of this cardstock, and it looks like a sparkly layer. Let's see if I can leave it still long enough for it to focus. Nope, not going to. Well, you see a glimpse of it there, maybe. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you how to do that. And it is easier to do it before you mount it to the cardstock. And I just go around that very edge. We're only going to have about a 1/4 inch border on each side or less. So just run your wink of Stella on the side there. Then we're going to mount it with dimensionals. And you can use foam adhesive strips if you want the whole thing to be solid. I don't think I do that on either one of these. You can use a strip of this. I'll show you. Use your edges. Don't just throw these away. That is just a waste, I think. But you can use these. That wink of Stella should have dried by now. Yep. And you don't have to cover the entire thing, but we can. for this. Let me get most of that. Then I'm going to add some over here because we don't really want this sagging. We want the whole thing raised. So I'm peeling off the edges. Whoops, sorry, I meant to switch you over. Y'all let me know in the comments when I don't need y'all watching me. I need you to watch the card making, right? But it's easier for me to talk to you if I'm at least right here where I can see you. I feel like y'all can talk to me better. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm happy to help answer all of them, and I'll get you an answer if I don't have one right off hand. All right, that's probably overkill on the dimensionals, but we had the little edges, so why not use them? Okay, and I use more of the dimensionals when it's like this, when I am, whoops, we got a little bit hanging over the edge. You can pull it back and then straighten that up, okay? And we can either go ahead and mount this, or I don't necessarily know which way is easier. Okay. Then we're just going to mount this flat. We're going to glue this piece to this piece. So since I have the middle of it out, we're going to move that out of the way. I don't know if that's confusing to have the black card up there. Maybe we should just have that one for now. We're going to kind of do a variation of this anyway. But please let me know who you are, where you're from, if you're tuning in. Would love to. And on the replay, I'd love for everybody to get some inspiration. I like to inspire people and encourage you to do some of my, try some of my designs for your own self. Okay, I'm just putting these in the middle so it'll even out with those that I have on the edge there. Since we have the hole, that'll even it out. Hopefully that makes sense. Because this paper has dimensionals on the back, so this will just make sure this part stays in the middle. It stays, keeps it from getting flat. And I'm just centering that right there, so I have an even border all the way around. And now it kind of looks a little bit, you can see the sparkle, hopefully, from this. It looks like a layer of sparkly paper. Yay. Okay, I have taken the ginkgo branch die. I'm going to show you how to lay this. If y'all got this kit, if you ordered it, which Rebecca, you did, I know. You ordered the kit. So you're going to get a piece of paper that is a piece of the distressed gold that is 3 by 4. And so you folks at home, if you've got that and want to play with this, you just really have to maximize your space here. But with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, if you can cut it to where it's 3 inches or 4 inches, where it's evenly divisible there, you don't waste any of the paper. So I made this as small as I could and make the die still fit, and it barely fits. And this is the only way it fits, is on this 3 inch by 4 inch piece of paper. So you can see this hangs off, this hangs off. There's no other way for it to work on this piece of paper except put this corner, the ends of the branches in one corner, and then line it up in the other and cut it out. So with the magic of television, voila, it's already cut. So you can either glue this flat. If you know you're going to glue it flat in advance, you can go ahead and put adhesive sheet on the back before you die cut it. If you don't want it to be flat, like this one is flat, which is still gorgeous. It's really pretty on the black, but I wanted to show you the 2 different ways. This one is raised, where you get a little bit of shadow here. Yeah, Rebecca, that is TV magic or video magic, live, Facebook Live, YouTube magic. Okay, so this one is raised. We're going to do that so I can show you how to do the dimensionals on there. And you're probably going to need the mini dimensionals, or you're going to have to cut the larger ones down. So what I'm going to do is scoot that over for a minute close up my liquid glue here. I've just got it in a little container where it has a, you could use the big ones on those areas, but I'm going to try to sneak it right in here. And then before I push too hard, I'm going to make sure, see if it's showing from the back. I think it's going to be okay. But we may have to cut some of those in half to do that. Definitely want one there. So I'm just going on the solid areas and putting the small dimensionals. You want to spread these out everywhere. And we might as well, I'm just going to go ahead and use this size. Sometimes the larger or the regular size dimensionals are a different thickness from the minis. So rather than using a big one here where I can, I'm just going to make sure everything stays the same height. So I'm going to stick with the minis. Hope you've had a good day, Rebecca. And if anybody is watching and you need some of the products that I do have products available in my store 24/7 online there. And so you can shop for any of these that I'm using today. And I thank you for watching. And when you do shop, it really helps me a lot to be able to bring you these videos if you will use my host code. And that is, let's see, there it is in the left-hand corner there. So if you'll always use the host code, that way I'm trying to get to where I remember and I have extra kits available so that I can send y'all some kind of a card or card kit when you order from me using the host code. It's just, I am trying to learn a lot of different things, and with all of the card making experiences that I have locally and doing all the videos and all that, it's so hard. And I think I still have some brain fog from COVID 2 years ago. I just never got all of my bearings. See, I'm losing my words. I didn't get everything back that I had before COVID. And maybe it's just age. You know, I am a couple years older now. So maybe it's just that. But I just can't remember to do everything I need to do. And it's just finding time to figure everything out. So y'all can see that I am just trimming these down where I have just little bitty bits so they won't show from the front. And if you have trouble getting the back off with your fingernails, just push on it like that and it will pop up the edge, and you can get it with your take your pick tool if you can't get it with your fingernail. And you can pull the backs off of them like that with your take your pick tool. There's a lot of different ways to do this. So whatever works for you. Just got to get those backings off of there. And they are shinier when the backing is off. So it just depends. Some people kind of draw on theirs with a marker so that they can tell if the backing is gone. Because if the backing's on there, they have the little like Sharpie marker or something that shows. So it would have like a black line on it or something. But I don't ever take time to do all that. So I just look at if it's shiny or not. Especially under a light like this, you can tell if you've got some good craft lighting. Okay, all those look kind of shiny. So I think we might need one more right there. Let's cut that in half. And here's a teeny tiny, about 1/4 of a one. I'm going to stick that right here so that we have some on that branch. Little leafy branch part. Okay. Then we've got, whoops, we're going to cut that in half. And these are the minis that I'm cutting, not the big ones. So you've got little bitty areas to raise here. So you have to have some patience if you're going to do it this way, as you can tell. And some finger dexterity. Otherwise, I would just glue it flat. And that would be just fine. It still has a pretty look to it. So look from the front like I just did. I can see the little bit of white poking through there. So I'm going to move that dimensional. I've got a little bit poking here. See if I can stick that out of the way. Other than that, I think I'm pretty good. Okay. So we're just going to put that on here. I think I'm going to do, like, put this way over here so that we have more room for our greeting right there. And I'm going to use something different. Oh, yeah. So we are using the stamp set. I thought we were. For the greetings on here, on the other cards, there we go, get out of the glare. Sending hope and peace, thinking of you with sympathy and friend. I've done several of those different greetings on cards. So, Rebecca, that's funny about having patience. I'm not usually extremely patient either, but today's a good day, so we're going for it. All right, there's the front, basically, of our card, except for the stamping of this. I'm going to go ahead and see, this comes out embossed from the label. When you die cut the label, it also embosses it with that edge. But I think that edge is even prettier when you go through and use Wink of Stella on it. And I have found that longer strokes, just go for it, is better than doing little hesitant strokes. I think you get more off when you're doing the little bitty strokes than if you're doing it this way. Probably should have stamped first before I did that, so I wouldn't waste my Wink of Stella if I don't stamp it properly. Note to the wise. Note to self. Note to watchers. Okay, we're trying to get these where y'all can see a little bit. There we go. Okay, and I decided this looked like a friend of mine, and I need a birthday card for her, so I'm going to use a different stamp set. We're using for these greetings, because I wanted a birthday, I'm using the Happiness Abounds. I think this very scripty font looks good on this with this elegant card. So I'm using the happy birthday on the front and the wishing you all the happiness you can imagine on the inside. And this set is number 159238. So, and that has coordinating dies also that are beautiful. And I haven't used them enough. I totally forgot about this, and I've hardly used those edge pieces. Oh my goodness, we have so many wonderful things in our Stampin' Up! Catalog, you just can't get to them all. Okay, we're going to use Starry Sky ink to match our Starry Sky paper. I love that. That is one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is the coordination. That before I became a demonstrator and started using Stampin' Up! Products all the time, I would end up trying to buy something at some store and think that this red was going to go with whatever red I had at home. And nope, it never did. But Stampin' Up! Always does. Everything always coordinates beautifully. So that is awesome. Okay, we're going to go with Happy Birthday. And always look at my stamp. Just tap, tap, tap on the stamp pad. Our stamp pads are awesome. They're great. As long as you keep them inked up, and we do sell re-inkers as well as the pad. And I'm just going to try to do this. It's a little harder on camera with your phone right where you need to be looking, but there we go. Happy birthday in Starry Sky. Isn't that pretty? And then, whoops, before we close that up, we're going to go on the inside piece, which I did the inside the same size as the outside. And my measurements will be on my blog post. I'll put that up again if you want measurements and supply lists. And sometimes I have different photos and all that online. I am posting that later today. I have it all ready to hit go, so it should go today. So you'll be able to go to my blog there, and I will try to update it. Well, it's actually in the description already, so you can't click the link now because it's not live until I go publish it. It's hard to figure out which to link first. Do I put the YouTube link or the live link on the blog first, or the blog? There's a lot. You just don't think about all the technical part, all the behind the scenes stuff that there is to do as a demonstrator when you're trying to build a business like I am. Okay, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. And then, of course, that looks pretty plain Jane for the outside. But we are going to try something that I just thought of, like I said, moments ago. If I can find my stamp cleaner here. Let's see where I hid it. Let me get this Starry Sky ink off of here. If y'all have any questions, please put them in the comments, or please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And even on a replay, I will be glad to try to go back and see if you have comments or questions or anything for me later. But right now, I'm going to show you how we're going to dress up the inside. And I have a cute little, it's like a little lunch box. It's hard to get under there and let you see, but it's like a lunch bag from Stampin' Up! That I got as a demonstrator. And I keep my little mini in it so it's easy to travel. This just opens up, easy peasy. Let me get that out of your way. We'll hide that. Go back, make sure I'm not missing any comments. There we go. Yes, that is a pretty font. I like that. That's one of my favorite happy birthdays, is out of that Hues of Happiness set, or Happiness Abounds. Okay, what we're going to do is take our piece of gold, which it feels like that's what it is a piece of gold. It's not that expensive. It's just more expensive than regular cardstock, of course, because it's the specialty paper. Okay, this is a really thin paper, so I think we're gonna need this base, number 1. Let me see. I think sometimes I do number 3. I think I'm gonna break the rules and do number 3 instead of number 1. It's a little thinner. I don't know. We'll try number 1, see. But each person's this is our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I've got a piece of the distressed gold. And this one die, excuse me, let me get a little sip. And it is water. Even though it's happy hour time on a Saturday, it's still water. Not drinking straight vodka, just to let you know. Okay, this is one piece, but it's going to cut out 4 corners. Okay, we're going to stick this in, and you don't need to line these up exactly even. You need to kind of let it have a leading edge going in. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, that one is really, really tight. Okay, I'm going to back it up. So mine, that plate is a little thick. So I'm going to use plate number 3. And that's what you have to do, is kind of experiment. I thought maybe since the gold paper was thinner that it might be okay. But I just use number 3 instead of number 1 because it's a teeny bit thinner. All right, we're going to show you how this worked. Check this out. Oh my gosh. How pretty is that? We may need to get that little filigree to show up a little more. Whoops, I lost a corner. Y'all saw me. How I can lose something like that. Oh my goodness, it's still on the plate. Okay, so I found it. The details don't show up as much I forgot that they wouldn't show up that much because they're on that distressed paper anyway, but it's still pretty. So instead of doing, let me show you the inside of this card. The way I did this card was I just die cut more of the little ginkgo branches, which I think is really pretty, on just the white, and did friend on the inside. So we're going to try this. Just going to shake up my glue. We're going to get this right here. Let's get my little silicone mat. Always like to use that so it doesn't make quite as much mess if it gets on something it shouldn't. All right. I'm just going to put that on the inside like that. And then let's see what we think about this. Check out these corners. Doesn't that dress that up? Look at that. And how easy was that? Cut it at one pass just with this one die that's from the Fancy Frames dies. And there's also another one that just has kind of the outline of embossed corners. This has the filigree look, and neither one of those are going to show on this distressed paper, which I didn't think, but the gold is still pretty and it's a great shape. I'm going to put that back in there before I lose it. Okay. And I'm just going to glue these in flat. And you don't have to worry about getting it exactly and trying to tuck this paper in under there like you would on a scrapbook page or something, an old photograph. You can just glue them down. Try to get them kind of straight and glue these down. I'm going to give them some room so it looks like there's room for them to have been tucked, so that the paper could have been tucked under there, if that makes sense. Need to move up a little bit, looks like. So trying to get them kind of even. They don't have to be exact. That's what I like about give it a little wiggle room with the liquid glue. There we go. Trying to get that kind of even. Straight and even. What do you think? Do we still need a little bit of gold leaf flower? Are we good with this? I think that's kind of like a proclamation or something. I mean, isn't that beautiful? Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine with all that gold and the gold in the front. I think that's pretty. I'm glad y'all, Rebecca said she loves it. So hopefully some other folks out there will love it too. Thanks a lot, Rebecca, for being here and commenting and sharing. I really always appreciate when you share my videos also, so that other crafty friends can kind of see my design and get introduced to card making and hopefully fall in love like we did with the wonderful Stampin' Up! Products. And we're going to do the little greeting. I just put that up. Oh, we have done it. Okay, let's find our little dimensionals again. And I can use the big ones with this label. I'm just going to put one at each end, maybe one here. You don't really need one right underneath those. So I'm going to put it right kind of a little further this way. And these don't have to be exactly even or anything. We're just wanting a little height, a little dimension. Thus, they're called Stampin' Dimensionals. Get it? Ah, clever, aren't they? All right, are y'all excited about the color refresh that's coming up? Did y'all know Stampin' Up! Is going to be changing more colors than their usual? We usually have, with each new catalog, we get 5 more new in colors that are in for 2 years. And then our current in colors stay 1 more year. So we have, every year we have 5 coming out, 5 coming in, 5 coming out, 5 coming in. But this year, woohoo, we're getting lots of new colors. Some of our regular colors in our line will be disappearing and some new ones will be coming in. So that is exciting. And we're going to use some of the pastel adhesive backed gems. We're going to use some of these gold because why not have more gold bling? We're already gold blingy. We're just going to add just a tad more. Let me see what time it is. See how we're faring here. I think we've got a little time. Okay, I think I'm going to use, let's try the big ones. Go big or go home, right? All right, I think this is pretty. And you, of course, if you don't have the gold sequins that coordinate with this, you could do a gold trim, gold ribbon, gold bow, anything you want. But I just think this is very elegant, and you can see how simple it was. But it is beautiful when you add these touches, the Wink of Stella shiny here, and the distressed gold paper. And then I just really like this quatrefoil paper, that Wink of Stella and the gold. And then when you open it up, you get this whole elegant feel of the debossed side of the quatrefoil paper. I mean, quatrefoil folder. And it's not a 3D embossing folder. It's just a regular one. So you use the 2 clear plates and not the gray plate with that. But the sentiments, like I said, are from Happiness Abounds. But you could use any, whatever sentiment you wanted, as we did on this card with the black. And would love to know if y'all like the black or the Starry Sky best. Which one is your favorite? Do y'all like the gold mounted flat, or do you like it raised like that? Just curious to see. I think this will be absolutely gorgeous with our new, or our returning Pretty Peacock color that is coming back. That was one of my favorites. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Kind of my logo-y color. So, all right, let's see. If we, thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate that. Oh, hi, Jeanette. I have somebody new who's new to chatting. Well, it's easy to chat. That's all there is to it. So glad you joined us, Jeanette. I guess I'm saying that right. Hope. Where are you from? Are you getting snow? We had somebody earlier getting snow as we were watching the previous video. Here in Lubbock, it's very pretty. So let me know who you are and where you're from. And if y'all need anything, I'm happy to help you. If you have any questions real quick before we close, we can do that. If you're in the Lubbock area and are interested in coming to some card making experiences, we have a lot of fun ones. I know, hopefully, Rebecca, you're coming tomorrow for our techniques class. And Jeanette, if you want to be added to my email list, and I would love for you to subscribe to my blog, you can get all kinds of inspiration when you subscribe at createwithkelly.com. Would love to have you join us and be part of the Create with Kelly crew. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know which one you like the best. If y'all like the Starry Sky or the black, I'm curious to know. All right, y'all have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, and a great week next week. We got a lot of fun times ahead. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye.